The first time Ayan clicked the link, he thought it was a mistake. It had arrived without a name, without a message. Just a quiet notification blinking on his phone late at night. The world outside his window was already asleep. The distant hum of traffic fading into a silence that felt almost unnatural. He had been lying on his bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the same memories he had tried to bury for years. He almost ignored it. But something about the link felt deliberate. He tapped it. The video opened without buffering, as if it had been waiting for him. At first there was nothing but darkness. Then slowly a dim light revealed a familiar street. Ayan sat up, his breath catching in his throat. He recognized it instantly. The cracked pavement, the leaning street lamp, the small tea stall at the corner that used to stay open past midnight. It was his street, but something was wrong. The camera moved forward, shaky like someone walking. Ayan's chest tightened as the video approached a house. His house. His hands began to tremble. "No," he whispered. The door in the video creaked open, and the camera stepped inside. The living room looked exactly as it had years ago. The old couch with its faded cover. The broken clock on the wall stuck at 2:17. The family photo that used to hang crooked near the doorway. He stood up from his bed now, heart racing, eyes locked on the screen. This wasn't possible. The video continued deeper into the house, moving slowly, almost cautiously, until it reached a door at the end of the hallway. Ayan felt a chill run down his spine. He knew that door. The video paused for a moment, as if hesitating, then pushed it open. And there he was. A younger version of Ayan sat on the floor, back against the wall, his face buried in his hands. The room was dim, lit only by a weak bulb hanging from the ceiling. The silence in the video felt heavy, suffocating. Ayan's breath became shallow. He remembered this moment. It was the night everything changed. "No, this can't be real," he muttered, shaking his head. But the video didn't stop. The younger Ayan lifted his face, eyes swollen from crying, staring directly into the camera. Not past it, into it, into him. "You came back," the younger version said softly. Ayan dropped his phone. It hit the floor with a dull thud, but the voice kept playing, echoing in the room. "You said you never would." Ayan stumbled back, his legs weak, his mind spinning. His chest felt tight, as if something heavy was pressing down on him. This wasn't just a video, it was a memory he had spent years trying to forget. He picked up the phone again, his fingers cold and unsteady. The younger Ayan in the video stood up slowly. There was something different in his expression now. Not just sadness, but something deeper, something unresolved. "Do you remember what happened next?" he asked. Ayan's throat went dry. Of course he remembered. He just didn't want to. The video flickered, and suddenly the scene shifted. The room was the same, but now it was louder. Voices echoed, sharp and angry. His father stood near the door, his face red with frustration. His mother was crying, her hands trembling as she tried to calm him down. "You never listen," his father shouted. "I'm trying," his mother replied, her voice breaking. The younger Ayan stood in the corner, frozen, watching it all unfold. Ayan, watching the video, felt the same helplessness creep back into his chest. It had always been like this. Every night, the same arguments, the same shouting, the same silence afterward that felt even worse. But that night had been different. That night had been the breaking point. The video moved closer to the younger Ayan. His face was pale, his eyes distant, as if he had already started to disappear from that moment. "Say something!" his mother cried, turning to his father. But his father just shook his head, his anger turning into something colder. "I'm done," he said quietly. Those two words echoed in Ayan's mind like a gunshot. The younger Ayan took a step back, his heart pounding. The video blurred for a moment, then refocused. His father walked out of the house. The door slammed shut, and just like that, everything changed. The silence that followed felt unbearable. In the video, his mother collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. The younger Ayan stood there, unable to move, unable to understand how everything had fallen apart so quickly. Ayan, watching it, felt his eyes fill with tears. He had blamed himself for years. He had believed that if he had said something, done something, things might have been different. The video paused again. The younger Ayan turned to the camera once more. "You never forgave yourself," he said. Ayan's voice cracked. "I tried, but you ran away instead." The screen flickered again. Now the scene had changed. A bus station. Rain poured heavily, soaking everything in a grey haze. The younger Ayan stood there with a small bag, his face set in determination, but his eyes filled with fear. Ayan remembered this too. The night he left. The night he decided he couldn't stay in that house anymore. The video showed him boarding the bus, not looking back even once. Ayan felt a sharp pain in his chest. He had convinced himself it was the only choice, that leaving was the only way to survive. But watching it now, it felt different. It felt like abandonment. The video shifted again. Years passed in seconds. Different cities, different faces, different versions of himself, trying to build a life that felt whole, but never quite was. Every smile looked forced. Every moment of happiness felt temporary. And underneath it all, there was always that emptiness, that guilt, that unanswered question. The video slowed down. It returned to the present. The younger Ayan was standing in front of him again. But now he looked older, almost the same age as the real Ayan. Watching the screen, "You built a life," he said softly, "but you never came back." Ayan wiped his tears, his hands shaking. "I couldn't," he whispered. "You didn't try." The words hit harder than anything else, because they were true. Ayan had spent years telling himself that the past was better left alone, that some wounds couldn't be healed. But deep down he knew he had been afraid of facing what he had left behind, afraid of what he might find. The younger Ayan stepped closer to the camera. "She waited for you." Ayan's heart stopped. "What?" The screen flickered one last time. Now it showed his old house again, but it was different. The walls looked worn, the paint faded, the air heavy with time. Inside, his mother sat alone on the same couch. Her hair was streaked with grey now, her face lined with years of quiet suffering. She held a photo in her hands. Ayan's photo, and she was smiling. Not a happy smile, a hopeful one, as if she still believed he might walk through that door one day. Ayan broke down. The tears came uncontrollably, his chest heaving as years of suppressed emotion finally surfaced. "I didn't know," he whispered. "You didn't want to know," the younger Ayan replied gently. The video began to fade. "Go back," he said. "Not to fix the past, but to face it." The screen went black. Ayan sat there in silence, his heart pounding, his mind overwhelmed. The link was gone, as if it had never existed. But the message remained. The next morning, Ayan stood at the bus station again. The same one he had left from years ago. The air felt different this time. He felt different. The journey back felt longer than it should have, every mile bringing a mix of fear and hope that twisted inside him. When he finally reached his street, his legs felt heavy. The house looked smaller than he remembered. Or maybe he had just grown. He stood in front of the door for what felt like hours. Then finally he knocked. There was a pause. Then footsteps. The door opened slowly, and there she was. His mother. For a moment neither of them spoke. They just looked at each other. Years of distance, pain, and unspoken words hanging in the space between them. Then her eyes filled with tears. "Ayan," she whispered. His voice broke. "Ami?" She didn't hesitate. She pulled him into her arms, holding him tightly as if she was afraid he might disappear again. And for the first time in years, Ayan felt something he thought he had lost forever. Home. Not perfect, not untouched by pain, but real. And as he stood there, holding on to the person he had left behind, he realized something that changed everything. The past doesn't disappear. It waits, not to punish you, but to give you a chance to return. And sometimes, all it takes is one mysterious link to remind you where you truly belong.